Welcome back to part 2 on this demo series on SQL Server protection using NetApp SnapCenter and BlueXP backup and recovery for VMs on VMC FSxN. In part 1, we covered the installation of BlueXP backup and recovery for VMs, and in this part, I will demonstrate the backup of SQL databases on VMC FSxN. To begin, let's launch and log into the SnapCenter server, which is installed in the same SDDC. Provide your credentials and sign in. This is the dashboard of SnapCenter, which you may be familiar with. However, if you are new to SnapCenter, you can use the Get Started page to help you navigate through the SnapCenter UI. First, we need to add the FSxN as storage to SnapCenter. Provide the FSxN IP and credentials, which you can find in the AWS portal. So log into the AWS, get the details, management IP and credentials, copy them. Let's go back to the SnapCenter and feed in the data and say submit. If you want to replicate, add the secondary FSxN as well to the storage page. Next, let's add the host. To do this, you need to register the BlueXP backup and recovery for VM's OVA that was deployed earlier. Adding it as a vSphere host will help you to talk to the vCenter and the underlying storage. Use host type as vSphere and provide the IP address of the BlueXP backup and recovery for VMs. You will need to enter the credentials created during the deployment process. Click OK and then submit. So it will basically validate and register the vSphere host. Next step is to register the SQL host that we have in the SDDC. Select host type as Windows, provide the host name and credentials. You can use either Windows-based authentication or SQL authentication for this. Select plugin Microsoft Windows and Microsoft SQL Server and click on Submit. The plugins will get deployed on the host, which will help you carry out backup and restore activities. While this plugin is getting installed on the host, let's go ahead and we will add the second host to the SnapCenter. You will also need to configure the log directory to store the transaction logs. So click on the host and configure the log directory. Let's configure it for both of the hosts. And now let's add the policy. The policy will define the retention schedule and frequency for the backups. Let's create a full backup policy first. Let's have a schedule as daily. And for rest of the policy process, I will keep things to the default. Let's move to the summary page and hit finish. Similarly, let's go ahead and create a log backup. Provide the name for the policy. Here choose log backup. Frequency to hourly. Rest of the settings I will keep it to default. Again move to the summary page and finish. Now let's go to the resource tab. After adding the host, all the resources will be discovered and presented over here. You will be able to see the instances as well as the databases here. So let's go back to the database view and let's protect the VMCDB database. So for protection, you can provide a custom name of your choice to the snapshot if you wish to. To create a policy, you can either create one on the fly or use that one that we have created in the previous step. So in this case, click on the SQL full backup, configure the schedule. I'm going to set it for 2 a.m. every day. So once you are done, click OK and configure. Let's configure it for the log backup as well. We will set it to 2 a.m. and for 15 minutes. Repeat for 15 minutes. So once you have done that, let's move on to the next step. I will keep it to the default. Click on the summary and click on the finish button. The backups will be triggered as per the schedule, but you can also trigger on-demand backup. So let's go ahead and click on on-demand backup. Let's trigger this on-demand backup for full as well as for the log backups. While both the full backup and log backups are running, take a quick look at the backup and you will be able to see all the subtasks that are happening. So once the backup is completed, you will see that there is backup available now in the SnapCenter UI. So this number is 7068. To access the same snapshot on the FSxN, log in using CLI. You will now be able to see the same snapshot available on the FSxN side as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please join me in part 3 of this demo series where I will demonstrate how to restore and clone the SQL host using NetApp SnapCenter and BlueXP backup and recovery for VMs. Thank you so much.